Alright, so I've actually owned my Fiesta ST for almost 3 years now. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why I daily it. Alright, so in this video I am actually going to go over a few things. So obviously fuel economy, driver enjoyment, practicality, and a few other things as well. I do truly believe that the Fiesta ST is one of the best bang for your buck daily drivers out there. And if you're interested in purchasing an ST, or if you're just wanting to know what makes it so special, make sure you stick around. Alright, so if you didn't actually know a bit of background about me, this ST is actually my second car. My first car was a Mk7 Fiesta ST. I threw some images on the screen right now. I absolutely love that car, did a few bits to it, and to be honest, I do actually really miss it. There are days where I look back at the pictures and I just think, I wish I kept it. So yeah, that is right, I did want an ST as my second car. I actually wanted one as my first car, but you know, being 17, couldn't really afford one, especially with the insurance, because if you don't know, if you're not from the UK, insurance is a scam, especially for young drivers, and especially for performance cars, let's say. I'm probably gonna get some comments about this tape here. Try ignore it. It was like a temporary thing for my underglow, and it sort of stayed permanently, because yeah, I should probably just get some blue coloured tape or something, or black coloured, so it doesn't stand out so much. So I'll add that to the list of things to do. But yeah, going back to my first car, when I had my Mk7 Fiesta, when I started saving up for an ST, because I knew I wanted an ST, I wasn't really interested in anything else. I thought the next step, you know, naturally would be a Fiesta ST from a Fiesta ZTEC. I actually wanted a Mk6 ST, not a Mk7. However, I was quite picky with the spec that I wanted. I wanted it to be performance blue, ideally with a sunroof. I wanted, you know, good spec on obviously the interior, potentially heated seats, potentially automatic lights, wipers, you know, basically as good as you could get. And ultimately, I saved up that much money before actually finding a Mk6 ST that was in good enough condition and matched what I truly wanted. I had enough money to buy a Mk7. Now looking back, that was 3 years ago. Obviously looking at the prices today, they're not going to be anywhere near 9 grand for a car. I bought the car with 60,000 miles. I don't think they're worth that much anymore. I think maybe around £6,000, so it's depreciated quite a bit in 3 years, maybe £1,000 a year. So yeah. Okay, so when I was originally looking at Mk7 STs, I was actually interested in getting a molten orange one, because I saw that colour one time in the summer. It was in the sun, you could see the spark in that paint. It's a special colour. And the first Fiesta ST that I did actually go and view was a molten orange one. However, it was a bit rough, so ultimately I didn't end up getting it, but it was a good experience to actually go and view one. Test driving one for the first time and feeling that turbo kick in, it really made me giddy. Okay, so now a little bit of information about the Mk7 Fiesta ST 180. It's in the name, 180. As standard, they produce 180 brake horsepower. However, this one, when I first bought it, it had the Mk7 MP215 kit on it. So that included the induction kit from Mk7 and also the stage 1, as they call it, map on the computer. And also in the name, obviously, MP215 produced around 215 brake horsepower. So when I did originally buy this, it wasn't a standard car, but that was all that was done to it. Just a simple Mk7 stage 1 map, which were actually warranty approved when these first came out. Now these do have the 1.6 litre turbo engines in them, a lot of tunability in these engines, which I'm sure you would have heard of if you know anything about these cars. So while they're only 1.6 litre engines, they are really torquey. And like I said before, there is plenty of tunability in these engines. You can actually get up to 300 brake horsepower just on stock internals. Now let's be honest, the real reason people get a Fiesta ST is for the drive. Obviously, it's a manual transmission, 6-speed. It's also really nice and responsive, how quick the turbo spools up. The handling, the list goes on. It's a proper hot hatch and a proper driver's car. All right, so I'm actually in the car now. I'm going to turn it around, get a bit of a different angle for you guys, just to keep the video interesting. But let's carry on talking. So the reason why people get STs, the reason why I daily drive my ST is obviously the drive. Like I said before, they are extremely fun cars to drive. Handling is on point. They are like little go-karts. How's that angle look? Let's go check. So obviously it's a hot hatch. Taking it down them British B roads is an absolute blast. They handle really well. It's what Fiestas are known for, like little go-karts. You can take them into a corner, power around them, power through them, and it just puts a big smile on your face. The gearbox as well feels really nice. Obviously, like I mentioned before, 6-speed manual gearbox. It's short, it's direct, it's kind of notchy, feels nice and sporty. I've got a short shifter on mine, so that makes it even shorter than it would originally be. Even without the short shifter, it still feels really nice going through them gears, and especially for them quick overtakes, it's perfect. Okay, so I did mention before the MPG, the miles per gallon. I would show that in this video, so let's zoom into that little screen there. Let's flicker through until we get to the miles per gallon. As you can see, the average MPG, 39.3. Well, you can't complain at that, especially for an ST. Now, of course, you can obviously get higher MPGs in other more modern cars. Hybrids, for example, you could probably get up to 50, even more than that MPG as an average. But you don't buy a Fiesta ST for the miles per gallon. Okay, so another reason why I daily a Fiesta ST, the size of it. It's only a little car. It's easy to get around town. It's easy to get around tight streets or even tight country roads where, obviously, you know, in England and the UK, some country roads, well. Now, while it may be small, it's still very practical, which again, is another reason why it makes a good daily. It's a hatchback, of course, so you've got that extra bit of space in the boot, I guess, over a coupe, for example. You can fit 5 people in there if you really wanted to. Might be a bit of a squeeze if you had like 5 adults, especially 3 of them in the back. But, you know, it's good enough for me personally. I don't carry a lot of people around. Usually it's just me in the car, or potentially just one passenger. So for me, it works. For other people who have big families, understandably, maybe not. Maybe you want to get something a bit bigger with 5 doors potentially. I do understand that, but this is about why I daily it. All right, so let's actually talk about the comfort. So obviously, we've got the ST seats, which are indeed Recaro's. Really nice, sporty seats. However, they're very comfortable. And even by looking at them, I feel like you can tell they are very comfortable seats. Now, my interior does need a clean, so if you see any dirt, please bear with me. It does need a clean, especially the leather. It's quite shiny. Could do with a bit of a wipe, but we'll get to that at another point. As you can see, they are actually really nice looking seats. We've got the ST logo embroidered on them, along with the Recaro logo as well. Got the nice bolsters at the sides, really do hug you and keep you in place. And of course, also with my model, the seats are heated, which if I just take a seat inside, you can see we've got the buttons down here for the 2 front seats with 2 different settings. We've got high and obviously the lower setting for the heated seats, which are perfect for the cold winter mornings. And also if you had a bad back, for example, it's also nice for that. But the seats are generally really comfortable. You can do long journeys in them and still get out feeling pretty fresh. I've gone away on weekend trips and also on holidays before. I've gone to Cornwall, for example. So I've had all the luggage in the boot, you know, with suitcases. It's practical enough for that. And obviously driving down to Cornwall, I live in the northwest of England. It's quite a far way. A long amount of hours on the road. Seats are perfect. Okay, so staying in the interior, looking at the center, we have got no massive screen, no big distractions here, which I like. I don't personally like having a huge iPad right in the center. It's just distracting, and also when you've got everything on a screen, I much prefer having physical buttons. Now, while I will agree this is a little bit of an eyesore, obviously it's not the most prettiest dashboard, center console thing, I get whatever it's called. I do admit that, and other people also say that about this model. However, it does work for me. Obviously, you've got everything you need. You've still got a CD player, which a lot of modern cars don't actually have anymore. You've got the DAB radio, which is nice to have. You've got the auxiliary, but we also have the Bluetooth media, so you can play your Spotify. You've got your Bluetooth phone connectivity as well, so you can make phone calls. And we do have the buttons on the steering wheel, so you can answer and hang up on your phone calls. You also got your volume buttons just here, nice and easy and useful to have just there on the steering wheel. And if you don't know, we actually have the voice assistant as well. I think that's what it's called, or voice control. So you can press this button and you can actually call people without actually touching your phone. All right, so we've currently got the screen on. I'm actually going to show you a little feature. So if we go down to the phone, you can actually send text on here. So if we go down, keep going down, we've got text message in there. And as you can see, it comes up with all of your messages that you've had, and you can actually make replies as well, which I feel like a few people don't actually know. It's only a little screen. You think that's quite surprising. You wouldn't think that it would have a feature like that. But yeah, you can make text, you can make phone calls just by the voice assistant. It works perfectly for a daily driver. Now, another thing I like is obviously the climate control. You've got the aircon, you've also got your heated windscreen, which really does come in handy in the winter. But also the fact that these are dials and not, again, on a screen. It doesn't distract you when you're driving. You can easily turn the dial, turn the blowers on really quick. You can easily change the temperature from hot or cold. And also you've got your heated seats just down here, right next to it. All easy access. You don't have to go onto a screen, onto a menu to change the temperature or change the blower speed or where the blowers are pointing. Nice and simple. That's what I like. So let's talk about, say, maintenance and servicing. So obviously it's a Ford. Parts are a lot cheaper than, say, for example, a BMW or Mercedes, something that's a higher tier. They're definitely cheaper. And also, at the end of the day, it is a Fiesta as well. So we've only got the 17-inch alloy wheels. That's the standard size for the car. I know on a lot of modern cars, wheel sizes are huge now. You can get like 20-inch, 22s, 21s. Especially on a lot of the performance cars as well. We've only got the little 17 inches, don't need anything bigger. But the reason why that's good is because of the tyres. Tyres are still cheap. I know on a lot of these bigger, more modern performance cars, obviously they've got the bigger wheels, which means tyres, well, you can be spending about 300 or 400 pounds per tyre. You can get a full set for that price. Now, other things, obviously you've got your brakes as well. Brakes are really cheap, especially when comparing it to other brands. Just all the different parts, your oil, your spark plugs, standard maintenance things. Again, it really doesn't break the bank, and they are really good value for money. And obviously because the community is so huge on these, so is the aftermarket. So you can get plenty of different parts. There's plenty of modifications that you can do on these cars. You can see I've done a few little bits on my own. It's a little bit of like an OEM plus sort of thing that I've gone with it, but you can see some that I've gone full out, modified basically everything on them. There's literally so many companies out there, so many different things that you can do to them. Okay, so I've gone to a POV view, and I'm just going to show you how it feels to drive, or try to anyway, through the form of a video. So currently on the way to football now, because I'm about to go do some work there. Like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I'm a photographer, if you don't know already. If you're interested in any of that, all the links are in the description. I'm just going to put the window down now so you can hear what the car sounds like, in a building. First gear, do a bit of a harder pull down here. Okay, that's enough for now. I'll put the window back up. We're actually about to leave, so I just make sure I've got the ticket. I think it's in my pocket actually. How long have I been in here for? £1.10. Alright, price to make a video. So, like I said, I'm going to show you what it feels like to drive an ST. So we're currently in the middle of town, as you can see. Bit of a daily driver. If you live near a town, do your daily commute through a town, then you're going well wide around that bend. People are probably going to look at me and think I'm a bit of a weirdo because I've got like a camera strapped straight to my head, obviously to film this video. Okay, just make sure we don't crash it. Yeah, it's a really easy car to drive. Obviously, you'd imagine it would be. It is a Fiesta at the end of the day. But yeah, really comfortable car to drive. You know, really good on fuel. As you can see, 39 mpg. Perfect for me. Right, so we're just in the middle of town, so there's not going to be any exactly exciting driving, you know. I'm not going to be able to floor the car, get up to high speeds or anything like that. But let's be honest, you know, as your daily driver, you're probably going to be driving around town, aren't you? You know, doing your commute to work if you work in a city or a town. As you can see, my average MPG 39.2 is what it's showing currently, which is it's perfect for me. You know, it's really affordable to run. Like I mentioned before, the maintenance, and with it being a manual transmission, I much prefer having a manual transmission to an auto. I've driven plenty of autos, and I just prefer having the control ultimately of your car. Basically, you know, with your 6-speed manual gearbox, you can go through your gears, have that feeling, you get engaged when you're driving, obviously with the clutch as well, compared to an automatic. Now I suppose I can also show is the suspension. When driving, it may be in this POV, it might show. Obviously, it is a little bit stiff. It's a hot hatch. It's going to be stiff. If you want a car, if you want a daily car that's going to be super comfortable and soft, don't get a hot hatch, and obviously don't get an ST because that's the same thing. Now, I do have lowering springs, so that's going to affect the ride height and also the comfortable. And also how comfortable it is. Although personally, I find that these springs are actually more comfortable than the standard springs, which is quite a surprise. But yeah, like I said before, if you're going to get a hot hatch, you're not getting a hot hatch because you want it to have a soft suspension. But I do think I'm going to end this video here. So if you have enjoyed, then please do let me know in the comments. Give me some feedback of what you think. If you have any questions as well, if you're looking to buy a Fiesta ST, then absolutely send away in the comments any questions or inquiries or anything that you have in the comments down below, and I will answer all the comments that I can to the best of my ability. Let's make our way around this roundabout. I'll do a little bit of a pull as we come off. So in third gear, up to 40 miles per hour just there. So yeah, that's it for this video. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. We're back uploading. New video each week. That's all for me today though. I'll see you guys in the next one.